How does AI come into play with your biz?
It's fun to see the life cycle. And I think AI is everywhere, from discovering the right people and prioritizing and marketing to, engaging and helping manage and forecast and sales. And once you hit the customer service side of the house, some of the stuff we talked about, if you don't have AI and automation in play, that personalization at scale just doesn't happen. So a quick example is, we had an instance the other day where we had somebody who was in France and they were chatting in Arabic on one of our chat programs. They basically needed to escalate and talk to an agent, and natural language processing basically picked that up. Like normally someone in France we'd just route it right to an agent in France for that company, but the natural language like picked up the language and said, hey, I'm going to route this to an Arabic rep somewhere else so that we can handle this more appropriately. And just a very small example, but those little things make a big difference. I mean, that gentleman talks to someone in the wrong language, and that's a very frustrating experience. So multiple examples where I think you can kind of move or think through how AI can ultimately make the agent and the customer experience just a lot better.
We had a guest on the show about a month or so ago, Milind Kadi, and he talked about using AI and data to put an Iron Man suit around the agent, if you will, the salesperson. And what you just did sort of gives that example there of like, hey, let's make it so much better to enhance that experience. It's not like replacing with a machine, and it's not like making it so human that you have to talk to everybody and it takes forever. It's sort of that combination of putting the Iron Man suit,
I love the Iron Man. It's like you take Tony Stark, somewhat of a regular dude, and put a suit around him, becomes a superhero. But I love that for sales, and it's same for customer experience, customer success. You take just kind of a regular Joe, and how do you arm them in a way that turns them into kind of that super salesperson or super sales agent? And I do think AI, it's always I love that, KJ. It's still a buzzword. It's still, I love the knee-jerk reaction, but you bring it down into some of those like tangible spots, and it's like, what if you could, if an agent picks up a phone call with somebody, like, what if you popped a screen for them that just said, hey, here's something you might want to talk about, or here's something about their last order that you might want to bring up, like a little bit of a recommendation engine. Is that like game changing? No, but all of a sudden it's like, hey, did you just call 15 minutes ago and ask about this? I just got an alert for it. It's like this little type of stuff that it's not about eliminating. I think it's not about eliminating. It's about enabling.